What's up guys, Brad here from Piney Grove. Deb is in the background and she's getting ready to mow a little bit of our pasture today because I had reverse total shoulder replacement and I still can't drive the tractor, or at least that's what my doctor says, so I'm gonna listen to him. We bought this mower used and we have a couple videos on how we refurbished it and got it back in good working condition, put new blades on it. But what I noticed in using this a lot over the past few weeks was that I didn't have these spacers for the top. And the way the Finish Mower works is that it rides on these spacers down here and you stack these spacers under the caster and that tells you how high that you mow. So you just let it down all the way with your 3-point hitch and then you get an even mow because it's all based on the casters. Well, when I bought this mower, it was missing this small caster or this small spacer and this wider spacer on the top of both of these, but it had them on the front. And I thought, well, that's no big deal. I got the spacers I need underneath. Well, what I found is from this going up and down a lot, because these spacers weren't here, it would dry out that grease. Dirt would get in there. And after you had mowed maybe an acre, this grease fitting was no longer good anymore. You couldn't get grease in because all that grease had become dry and hard and brittle in like less than an hour. So these spacers are crucial to the operation of a Finish mower. But enough about mower maintenance. Let's get started mowing the pasture. Okay, babe, you're on. Tell us all about tractors.
This is a Kubota L3901. It has a hydrostatic transmission.
Trained her well, haven't I? So she hasn't been on the tractor in a minute, so we're going to go over real quick the hydrostatic transmission and the PTO so that she can get mowing. We got a 3-stage hydrostatic transmission and we're going to be in medium. So you can leave that in medium.
Yep.
Your 4-wheel drive is that lever and that you pull it up, and I think it's in 4-wheel drive already. And we're gonna leave the loader about this far off the ground when you're mowing. Normally we take the loader off, but again, I can't use my right arm to put the hydraulics back on the tractor, so we're gonna leave the loader on for this mowing.
Okay, so I know this engages my blades.
Okay, so real quick, so that little arrow there means engaged. So before you move this lever forward, what do you have to do with the tractor? Well, I mean, once I'm in place, I have to lower my mower deck, yes? Okay. And then lower my mower deck. I'm in medium. The tractor will be on. And then once I'm lower and once I've got all my settings, then I engage my blades. No, you'll have to disengage the engine from the transmission with that pedal right there. So you'll push that pedal down. You'll push that down. And then you'll take this switch right here. And you'll bring it forward. I have to use the switch when I okay. And then you'll let off of that. That'll make the mower start to run, and then you'll take your throttle and go up. So okay, yeah, that's the part I missed. Then I didn't remember that I had to use the pedal to engage. You see your hydraulics picked it up in the back. She's driven it before. She's used it before. She just hasn't used it in a little while, so just giving her a refresher to get her confidence back. So we've got a new product we want to showcase on this field, this pasture out here. So I've asked Deb not to cut the center of this grass. We want to cut the edges and leave this center for this demo we want to do here next week. So she's going to go over here and cut along the woods line first. And off we go. We'll go to the other end of the field and we'll see how straight a line she drove. Not looking too straight right now. Well, I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. There's actually a cedar tree I took out there. That's on another video. And there's some dirt and some sticks sticking up there. So she decided not to get anywhere close to that. But the reason we're doing up here against the woods is because we have this, I don't know what kind of grass this is, but it's an invasive grass. You can see it's in its premature seed heads now. And we don't want that to go to seed and spread. So we just want to keep this chopped down. Some of this, what we eventually want is the bahia grass to go all the way to the woods line. And we planted this several times and it didn't take, but it's doing better now. So we're probably 1 year from getting good grass all the way to the line over here, or to the woods line. So guys, I love that my wife participates in these activities. I mean, she's gonna participate in things anyway, but the fact that she'll drive the tractor and do this type of work, because she could just, you know, keep herself to taking care of animals when we get them or things like that. But before she met me, she'd never driven a tractor before. And You know, she was willing to try it, and she has a zero-turn mower. We have a lot of videos of her mowing with her zero-turn. She doesn't use the tractor that much, but you can see she likes it. She just gave us a thumbs up. She doesn't have a good feel on, you know, distance for how far away to be from trees and stuff like that. But all that comes in time. She's just trying to be extra careful. I'll definitely talk to her about that. Now you'll see there, that loader sticks out so much in front of the tractor. You gotta, you know, plan your turn way ahead of time. And I told her, don't worry about getting right up next to the tree. We're not trying to, you know, have this a manicured lawn. At least not, you know, now. We can always come back with the zero turn or the string trimmer and get up close to the trees. She missed the strip right there. And all those things come from seat time on a tractor. Nobody's gonna get it perfect the first time. I told her with a Finish Mower, you don't have to do anything with the PTO or the 3-point hitch adjustment. Once you let it down, you just drag it behind you. You can back up, go forward. And the Finish Mower blades are starting to get a little dull. You can see where it's not cutting perfectly even, and I think she might be going a little fast in places, but I mean, there's a lot of thatch right there, and all that's gonna go back into the soil and enrich the soil. Pulled out that cedar tree a few weeks ago, and with the brush hog, I would just go right over that, but we don't want to do that with the Finish Mower. We're trying to keep those blades as sharp as possible. So we had Lucas from Peaks Peak here a few weeks ago, and he used our Kubota diesel ZD 1011 zero turn with a 54-inch mower deck. And he also used this same machine that Deb is on, the Kubota with the John Deere 6-foot Finish Mower. And he came away from that with a different perspective of mowing with a tractor versus mowing with a zero turn. I think there's a lot of people out there that think that a zero turn is like the best way to mow. You know, even if it's large acreage, that it's gonna be more comfortable and faster. And Lucas found out it was actually more comfortable to mow with that Kubota L3901 than it was with that zero turn. So we'll get Deb's perspective when she gets off the tractor and see what she thinks. She may think differently. She may think the tractor's too big and not as maneuverable, but the tractor has a much better ride. One thing I know that she's gonna say is that it's hot on the tractor because the tractor has no cab and no canopy, and her zero turn has a canopy to keep this hot Florida sun off of her. That grass I talked about earlier, it leaves bigger clumps, but all of that nitrogen, all of the nutrients and the micronutrients that are in those grass stems are now going to be here on the top without weed seeds or without grass seeds, and all that will eventually just rot down into that soil, kind of like compost, and just enrich this area. And it's really hard to eradicate a grass within a grass. And the reason is, if you spray a herbicide that kills grass, you'll kill grass, right? So when you have a grass within a grass, you're very limited on how you can eradicate it. You know, the old-fashioned way is go in there with a shovel and dig up every one of those grass blades or by root to keep them from spreading. That ain't gonna happen, not at Piney Grove. And you can't spray it, because anything you spray on that will kill the bahia grass we're trying to keep. So there is a way where you can cut all your grass short, and if that grows faster and it's taller than the bahia grass, you can wick it. You can have this tube on front of an ATV or a tractor, and I have one of these wicks. But the wick only wets the taller grass, and it'll kill the taller grass and not the shorter. I just got to laugh at her. And again, I'm proud of her for being out here, and it's no big deal. But she left another strip. Classic rookie mistake. Even though it's 6 foot wide, which is a foot wider than our 5-foot brush hog, that means it's only 6 inches wider per side. So you still got to overlap a little bit. She's asking me if she can go in between these trees. It won't hurt the rocks. I would go in between there. We need to trim all these oak trees. We just haven't gotten around to it. Well, she made it. I'm glad my wife is mowing and helping keep the property up. But I miss being on the tractor. It's only been 3 weeks since my surgery, so it's only been 3 weeks since I've been on the tractor, but I miss it. I call it diesel therapy, not really having to think too much about the job at hand and just kind of decompress. A bad day on a tractor beats a good day at work anytime, right? She's just about got this. I see her looking around on little things that she can hit, but she got this grass we wanted to get done. Look at her trying to get that little sliver. She's such an animal lover. There's a frog there, and she's shooing the frog away before she mows over it. She's trying to save the frog. I get it, but sometimes frogs just aren't going to make it when you mow. She's laughing at herself because she saved the frog. So that's a 6-foot finish mower and a 39-ish horsepower tractor. And in this environment, the state of the grass, it's handling it no problem. She could go a lot faster if the blades were sharper. This tractor will run pretty much all day on 1 tank of gas, which is around 10 gallons. I was mowing that grass really tall, and it was engaged with tall grass and the clippings. I probably only got like half that gas mileage. Like I probably, instead of getting 8 hours of mowing with 10 gallons, I probably got 4 hours of mowing with 10 gallons. I was just surprised at the drag on that mower. Even though the tractor was handling it fine and keeping up its RPMs, I was just surprised at how much fuel it burned. She's over there going through her mental checklist. Lower the mower. Yep, she had the pedal pushed down. She got her going. She mowed up to there last week, so you can definitely see the break there. But just 1 week of growing, this is, like I said, 4 inches tall. The big difference between the zero turn and the tractor is the zero turn throws the grass to the side and it's constantly recutting the grass, and it'll look like this afterwards. With that mower there, it's rear discharge and it has a more even distribution of the grass clippings. Just kind of sit back and watch her work. Bella's watching with me. She went down that edge, then she came towards us and cut off this edge. Now she's gonna have to back up and 3-point to go down there. And I'm trying to teach her to section things off and go down the middle and then work out from the middle so you don't do as much turning and you're just mowing more efficiently. She's actually had to mow our house grass as well with our riding lawnmower. But she wanted to do it after dinner because it was cooler, and we actually had to mow the grass, or she had to mow the grass while I was holding the flashlight with my one good hand. She's got a couple more passes left. Bella's tired, sitting in the shade. I think she's got more grass than she's got mower there. It'll be close. She might have got it. When she circles around, we'll get her to tell us what she thought when she gets off the tractor. She got that one last little bit right there.
Oh my.
Get yourself together, babe.
I know, right? I forgot about my headsets. First time on a finish mower. Not the first time I've used a tractor, although first time I've used a tractor in a while. I was not efficient at all with that.
Yeah, I talked about that a little bit, about you kind of skipping. That's not a big deal. You haven't been on it in a while. What I kind of led into and what I'm most interested in is, what do you think about using this tractor to mow versus your zero turn?
Okay, so the tractor is actually a little smoother on the pastures, right? Because Spunky, my zero turn, is a little bit bumpy in certain areas. So that aspect, since it was heavier, it was a little smoother. But it's not as maneuverable. And as proof by the spots that I missed, I wasn't good at gauging the mower width, right? So that was, I missed places. Plus I got scared because I knew with the finish mower I shouldn't run over sticks. So I was maneuvering around trees and sticks, and it was a little bit awkward, but given time, like anything, right, I would get better at it. But it got done and it looks good and it does a great job, and it's smoother than what I thought it would be. So in all, 2 thumbs up. But if you had to go, Deb, would you like to get on your zero turn with your canopy and your super cool controls that you can zip around stuff, or would you rather get on what is bigger to me but not to tractor people? I think I would choose the zero turn, except if I had to mow all this. I don't think I'd want to mow all this with the zero turn, given the bumpiness.
Turn around. I think I saw your back was soaked in sweat because no canopy.
Yeah, no canopy.
Just driving the tractor out here, you got soaked. If this had a canopy and the loader wasn't on the front, and you could choose between the two, which one would you choose?
For pasture mowing, I would choose the tractor, especially if the loader wasn't on there and I had a canopy. Okay. Then I would choose the tractor for the big areas, but for the smaller areas, I love my zero turn.
That's gonna do it for today's video. We sure appreciate you watching. We'll put up a couple of links here to some of our other videos, but until next time, y'all take care out there. And remember, life's short.
Be kind.
And tractor hard.
Take
care, y'all.